Hello and welcome everyone to our summer stakeholders meeting. I'm Mary Wheatley, CEO of the National Scleroderma Foundation, and I am delighted to welcome you all to this quarterly update. A disclaimer that we include with all of our updates and presentations. Of course, we will talk about several things today, but we in no way endorse any specific treatment, trial, or study. And always urge you to talk to your provider about specific treatments that are right for you. So today I want to begin by sharing a recap of the National Scleroderma Conference, which it's hard to believe was just exactly a month ago in Bellevue, Washington. And these are just a few of the photos of some of the beautiful faces that joined us in Bellevue for our national conference. And as you all know, this is just a wonderful time to share information and education about scleroderma with all of our community and hear from the leading experts in the field, including experts in the lived experience of scleroderma. So we're really delighted to have several of our medical and scientific advisory board members come and speak, as well as several members of our patient advisory board close out the meeting with a wonderful patient panel that you can see there in the center. We were also really honored to have Bernie Williams share his story about caring for his father and his journey with interstitial lung disease. So I want to share a little bit more about the meeting, kind of by the numbers. We had 445 people registered for this fully in-person event, 48 sessions, 56 speakers, and 27 volunteers. We were slightly impacted by the travel woes due to the technology glitch that happened that weekend that you all are familiar with by now, but I just want to give a shout out to our wonderful speakers. We had a handful of folks that couldn't make it, and those who were already there on site really stepped up and offered to present for their colleagues and did so really seamlessly. So we really appreciate our tight-knit community and their willingness to go above and beyond. These are just some more scenes from conference, including our poster hall, our kids conference, and our awards luncheon, where our Upper Great Lakes chapter really swept the awards. We've gotten all kinds of questions, and I think it's brought a lot more awareness and attention to the awards program. So that will be opening up again next spring for anyone who's interested in submitting nominations. It is a fully open nominations process, so we hope you'll submit nominations for all of our mini awards. Lots of people were interested in participating in that after seeing all of the great honorees being recognized this year. This is just some of the feedback that we got from the evaluations, as well as emails that people sent in. So thank you all so much for your feedback and for sharing your thoughts about the conference. We had just overwhelmingly positive responses from everyone, and some of our planners saying it was our best year yet. So really appreciate everyone's positivity and continued support of this really important program. One of our favorite traditions is having the kids from the Kids Get Scleroderma 2 conference come out at the end of the conference at the closing session and do the big reveal to share where next year's conference will be. So for those who may have missed it, next year, July 18th through 20th, 2025, we will be in St. Louis, Missouri, hosted by our wonderful and beloved Heartland chapter. So really excited to have the kids reveal that. There was just a ton of energy in the room, and we had some of our Heartland chapter leaders there to really share their excitement about hosting next year. And you can actually see some of them here, and they were able to join us on stage in Bellevue and share a little bit about the conference next year. So we hope you'll join us next summer in St. Louis. It'll be a great event, and we're already looking forward to it, and of course, already planning it. So I mentioned our Heartland chapter. Just want to remind everyone that there is a chapter in your area if you are in the US. So last summer, we launched our chapter realignment to really be thoughtful about making sure everyone had coverage and access to a chapter under the National Scleroderma Foundation. So make sure that you visit scleroderma.org www.scleroderma.org/chapters to find your chapter. It's a great way to connect with people in your local community and learn more about the work of the foundation, but also a way to give back and to really just connect and learn about other people's journeys. A lot of times when we're speaking to someone who's been newly diagnosed, they've gotten kind of some scary news from their doctor, but we're able to connect them with someone who's been living with the disease for 20, sometimes 30 years. And it just makes all the difference the way that you all connect with those newly diagnosed folks. And so really appreciate all the work that you do at the chapter level and hope that you all will take a moment to find your chapters and to connect there. It's just a really awesome opportunity. And we love to see our chapters repping their regions at the national conference. So you can see some of our Texoma folks repping here. Another thing that's really important is hearing from all of you about how we're doing. So we want to make sure that the programs and services that we're offering to you are really meeting your needs. If there are gaps along the way, these types of pulse surveys really help us to identify that. So if you could take a moment and scan that QR code or visit bit.ly/pulse 25-1. It's the first pulse survey of fiscal year 25. We'd love to get your feedback just to make sure that we're hitting the mark and that we're improving in the places where maybe we're not hitting the mark. So hope you'll all take a moment to do that. We've also pushed it out on our socials. That survey will close at the end of the month. But we'll also send a reminder to all of you who registered for the webinar and hope that you'll take a moment to give us your feedback and your thoughts, ideas about things we can do better and things that we're doing well. And really appreciate you doing that. So you all know that in addition to conference, another really important investment area for us in terms of our mission is investing in scleroderma research. We have our request for applications that goes out every year is now open, and those applications are due September 16th. So I hope you'll share that with the centers in your area and your providers and investigators. We are delighted to be the leading nonprofit supporter of scleroderma research in the US, and we've committed over $30 million in scleroderma research. You can visit scleroderma.org/research apply for all of the details on how to apply. And we're just a few weeks away from that deadline. So if you or someone you know is interested, we hope that you will get that application in. And we are always happy to help and provide guidance about which mechanism or kind of how to work the application process as well. So feel free to reach out to us at info@scleroderma.org for any help. On our last stakeholder call, I was so excited to share with you all our 2024 class of investigators, and you can see their smiling faces here, and you can also visit scleroderma.org/research to learn more about each of their projects, as well as all of our other funded research from the last several years. And every year we announce a new slate of investigators that are funded, but these are multi-year awards. So people who were funded last year are still continuing, and the year before that have 3-year awards. So it's a continuous cycle of just really exciting scleroderma research that we're delighted to support. And today we have a very special treat because Dr. Parameswaran from Case Western is here to share about her work on BAFF CAR T therapy and scleroderma. So I'm going to turn it over to her and let her share a little bit about the work that you all are helping support through her funded grant.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary, for the introduction. So in the next 10 minutes, probably, I'll share with you guys what we are doing in our lab and how we are developing a new therapy strategy for scleroderma patients. So the therapy name is BAFF CAR T. I think at least some of you or most of you know about CAR T therapies by now because that's a hot field right now. CAR stands for chimeric antigen receptor, and T stands for T cells, which are immune cells in our body. So we are using actually patients' own immune cells, and we are making some changes with that to make them CAR T and giving back to patient as a treatment. So here, BAFF CAR T, which we developed in our lab, I have a disclosure here. It's the BAFF CAR T is licensed to Luminary Therapeutics. Okay, so here you see the B cells. this schematic representation of B cells in our body. So why we are studying B cells? Because in scleroderma, B cells are overactivated. It's not as in normal people. They're overactivated, they're hyperstimulated. So what will happen is these cells will secrete a lot of proteins, which causes inflammation in your body. And also a lot of proteins, which are called cytokines. Those proteins will make, again, fibrosis in your body. And also it produces antibodies when they are overactivated, which is called autoantibodies. And that is a critical pathological indicator in scleroderma as well. So if we can deplete these B cells from your body, at least the autoreactive B cells from your body, then probably the patient will go to remission, or at least the symptoms will disappear. That's the hypothesis. So that's what we are trying to work. And a lot of B cell killing. Yeah, you can move the slide when I say, because I don't know, Mary, are you moving the slides? Okay, I'll tell you to move. So so the killing these B cells is important, because then it will reduce the symptoms and the patient might go to remission, because these B cells are responsible for too many things than the pathogenesis of scleroderma. So that is what we are trying to do using BAF CAR T cells. Yeah, next, please. So here, my lab is focusing on actually cancer. It's a cancer lab. So that is how we developed this BAF CAR T, because we wanted to use it for therapy of a different variety of cancers, B cell cancers, as you see the list here. Then we thought, why not autoimmune disease as well? Because the B cells are problem there. So if we can kill the B cells there using our BAF CAR T, it will be a great relief for these autoimmune patients as well. So autoimmune patients including lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, scleroderma, etc. So that is when I thought of it, and I applied for a grant to the National Scleroderma Foundation. And luckily, fortunately, I got this grant award that helps us to do the work. So that is very important, because without money, we cannot do the work. Next slide, please. So here I want to show you how it works. So here, as you see here, probably you can see my pointer moving. So from patients, we are taking the blood. And from the blood, we are taking the white blood cells or immune cells called T cells out. And to these T cells, we introduce a piece of DNA. So this DNA is called CAR. So that makes it CAR T. Once the CAR DNA is introduced to the T cells, we call it CAR T. Then we multiply them or expand them in the lab. So we make tons of these cells and then inject back to the patient, and it's a one-time treatment. So one time we inject to patients and done. And then inside the patient, what's supposed to happen is these CAR T cells will go and find the B cells, and these T cells, once it becomes activated, will kill these B cells. So that is how we are thinking we can deplete or kill the B cells in patient's body. So this is how we envision the treatment. Next slide, please. So here I'm showing you the data we had with the cancer model. So of course, obviously, we are working with mouse, right? Not humans. So mice, we inject cancer cells to make them sick. So as you can see, the blue color of these mice, it denotes the progression of the disease. More color, more disease. So you can see all these mice has cancer. We injected at day 0. And then by day 14, they're already sick. You can see the blue color. And then it increases day by day. And by day 28, we had to sacrifice these mice because they all were really sick. But at the same time, the BAF CAR T injected mice, as you can see, the disease almost disappeared. I am showing only until day 49, but in reality, we waited until day 72, and they did not develop any disease. So then we understood that, okay, it's working. It's killing the cancer cells. So we did in male and female mice, all it worked. So So that shows the efficacy of the BAF CAR T cells we produced in cancer models. But that is what we want to try now to do in autoimmune patients. Next slide, please. So one good news is now we've started the clinical trial for cancer patients using these BAF CAR T cells. And we started for non-Hodgkin lymphoma in Cleveland Clinic. And we started for another cancer, multiple myeloma in University Hospitals, Cleveland. And I just proudly, I want to show you this patient scan before the CAR T cell injection. And at this stage, we injected this person one time CAR T cell infusion, and after 1 month, it's all gone. So the patient, it was a complete response, and the patient went home. So that was really wonderful, and I really wish it works this way in autoimmune patients as well, and we get the results what we are looking for. Yeah, next slide, please. So for scleroderma, after getting the money from Scleroderma Foundation, we started the work. So that was very recently. So I have only this much to show you now. Probably next time I can show you more data. So what we got is we got from scleroderma patients, from 3 patients, we took the blood and we looked for the B cells. Are these proteins expressed? Yes, all the 3 proteins were there. And also it was higher on scleroderma patients, which is good, so that we can target them easily. So all these proteins are higher in scleroderma patients. And what we did is we mixed those cells with our BAF CAR T cells and checked, like it was a test to see if it works. So if you don't have scientific background, no problem, but you can see the blue bar showing the B cells without the CAR T cell, and you don't see anything in the CAR T because it all got killed. So it was efficiently all got killed from the 3 patients we took, and all the B cells were killed actually very efficiently with our BAF CAR T cells. So the preliminary data so far looks very promising. And now we are going to test in mouse models. So in mouse, we will induce the disease and check. So then we will know if it is going to really what it's going to do with the skin issues or the fibrosis issues and heart issues. All these we can study now. And I really wish this all works as we dream for, and it goes to clinical trial very soon. So that's my wish, but this is where we are right now. I just wanted to share with you. So yeah, that's it. And next slide. It's last slide. Just wanted to acknowledge the foundation for the support and for the money. And also, I'm sure the foundation will be, I attended the conference. It was really awesome, and meeting the patients, families. And actually, after talking with the patients, I really knew we have to do this actually quicker, and translate this to clinic faster than we thought, because it's very important right now. And good news is the CAR T therapy clinical trials in lupus patients, it's working. So that's actually a great news because in the beginning, when I started with autoimmune patients, people were not positive about it. People were saying, oh, in cancer, it will work, but in autoimmune, it will not. So, but we have to try, right? Then only we will know if it will work or not. So the clinical trial in lupus is very, very positive for CAR T therapies, and the patients went into remission, and so far so good. I mean, we don't know when it will come back or if it will come back or anything, but if they went to remission, that's a good news. That's all what we know right now. But that's a great news. And I really think it works for scleroderma as well, because the science is pretty much the same. So it should work for scleroderma as well. So thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Parameswaran. We're so grateful for you sharing that update, even if it's early days. It's a very exciting project, and starting to see some of the early data from some of the other CAR T studies is really encouraging. And I know it's been a topic of real interest from our community as well.
Yeah.
So really exciting to hear about the work that we're funding in this area. Thank you so much for being
Yeah.
here.
Thank you. Thank you.